Reports are stating that Eric Dyer is fit and available for the Brighton game on Saturday at the Amex Stadium. Peter Crouch on Heung-min Son's performance on Tuesday. The Brighton manager, De Zerby, has come out and said that Spurs can win the Premier League this season under Antonio Conte. The Evening Standard have published a predicted lineup which includes Ivan Perisic at right wing-back and a tribute to the late John Piero Ventrone. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you don't subscribe to the channel as yet, please do hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Now, do not fast forward because I can guarantee that you will want to know how to win £10,000 for free this weekend. If you have not already heard about Fantasy 5, please do let me explain. It's a completely free-to-play fantasy football prediction game with a weekly £10,000 jackpot. Yes, that is right, £10,000 every Premier League match week. Simply choose one player in each of the 5 Premier League games, and if all 5 beat their fantasy points target, you will win £10,000. Here is my chosen team on screen. For round 9, as you can see, I have gone from my favourite Tottenham Hotspur player, Heung-min Son. They also have amazing prizes on offer if you don't win the jackpot, so there is always something to play for. These are the prizes. It's completely free, only takes 2 minutes to set up, and they have already had and paid out £50,000 worth of jackpot winners. If you want to join in with me this weekend, then hit the link in the description, and the best of luck. So let's start by talking about the Premier League fixtures. 5 games will take place on Saturday, 4 on Sunday and 1 on Monday evening. The 5 games on Sunday are as follows. Bournemouth will take on Leicester, Chelsea against Wolves, Manchester City will take on Southampton, Newcastle against Brentford, and then of course it is our game, Brighton v Tottenham Hotspur, 5:30 p.m. kickoff. On Sunday, the 4 games are as follows. Crystal Palace will take on Leeds, West Ham will take on Fulham, Arsenal against Liverpool, and Everton will host Manchester United. And then the Monday night game, Nottingham Forest will take on Aston Villa. Now going into this weekend, the Spurs are sat in 3rd place in the Premier League table. We have played 8, we have won 5, we have drawn 2, we have lost 1. We have a goal difference of +9. We have 17 points. Our opponents on Saturday, Brighton, are just behind us in the Premier League table, sat in 4th. They have played 7, they have won 4, they have drawn 2, they have lost 1. They have a goal difference of +6. They have 14 points. The Spurs under-18s and the Spurs under-21s will both be in action at Hotspur Way on Saturday. The under-21s will be hosting Arsenal in Premier League 2. That is an 11 a.m. kickoff. The under-18s will be facing Wolverhampton Wanderers in the under-18 Premier League Cup. The kickoff time at Hotspur Way for that one is 1 p.m. On Friday morning, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club released the following statement. Following Thursday's sad news, we can confirm that we will pay our respects to John Piero Ventrone at Saturday's Premier League fixture against Brighton and Hove Albion at the Amex Stadium. Our squad will warm up in T-shirts that pay tribute to our late fitness coach, while players on both sides will wear black armbands as a mark of respect. There will also be a minute's applause ahead of the 5:30 p.m. kickoff. We shall look to further honour John Piero at Wednesday night's UEFA Champions League fixture against Frankfurt at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, our first home match since his passing. Our thoughts continue to be with his family and friends at this sad time. A report has just been published by The Athletic, and they are stating despite seen limping off the coach on Tuesday evening, Tottenham Hotspur defender Eric Dyer is fit for the Brighton game. Dejan Kulusevski and Lucas Moura do remain out of this clash. Ahead of the Brighton away game in the Premier League on Saturday, the Evening Standard have just published Tottenham's predicted 11. They have gone with Hugo Lloris in goal. They have gone with the back three of Romero, Dyer and Lenglet. They have gone with wing-backs Perisic and Sessegnon. They have gone for two in the middle, Bentancur and Højbjerg. And they have gone for the three up front, Richarlison, Kane and Son. New Brighton Hove Albion manager Roberto De Zerby has come out and said that he thinks that Tottenham are title contenders. He said, I think Tottenham are in the right condition to win the Premier League. It's not easy because there is Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, but in the transfer market they bought some very good players. And after 1 year to work with Antonio Conte, I think they're able to win the Premier League. The squad is better than 1 or 2 years ago. Former Tottenham Hotspur centre-forward Peter Crouch has been talking about Heung-min Son on Tuesday night on BT Sport after his performance against Frankfurt in the Champions League. And Crouch said that Son is trying too hard. He went on to say, always going for the top corner. With his power, he does not need to be so precise. You can see when someone is snatching and he looks tense. It is not quite happening for him at the moment. He is a world-class player and it will happen eventually. Now, my thoughts on these stories in this episode. Let's start with the Evening Standard's predicted lineup, and I completely agree with it. I fully expect Ivan Perisic to come in at right wing back and Ryan Sessegnon to play at left wing back. So their predicted lineup, I completely 100% agree with. I actually said it on the Spurs Chat podcast after the Frankfurt game on Tuesday, because of course Emerson Royale is now suspended for 3 games, so I'm fully expecting that Ivan Perisic will go over to the right, Sessegnon on the left. Let's face it, I think that Antonio Conte trusts Ivan Perisic a lot more than the other right wing backs that we have at the club at the moment. Peter Crouch on Heung-min Son. It is going to come for Heung-min Son. Of course, it came against Leicester. He got the hat-trick. Heung-min Son is a world-class player. You do not lose that ability. Yes, he's had a very difficult season so far. You know, take away that Leicester game, it has been difficult for him. But we know the quality that Heung-min Son has. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him score a goal or two at Brighton on Saturday. Now, reports from The Athletic are stating that Eric Dyer is fit to face Brighton. That is fantastic news. He was limping off the coach on Tuesday after the Frankfurt game. Kulusevski and Lucas Moura remain out. That is a big shame because I feel like we have really missed Dejan Kulusevski in these last couple of games. So hopefully it won't be long before he comes back. Now, the Brighton manager, De Zerby, has come out and said that Spurs could win the Premier League this season under Antonio Conte. I believe that Spurs will have a good season. Do I believe now that we can challenge for the Premier League? Probably not. Manchester City are just unreal. Absolutely unreal. When you see their centre-forward, Erling Haaland, banging in the goals, you know, week after week, game after game, who on earth are going to catch Manchester City when you've got a striker like that? You've got players scoring, you know, from all areas. They have an incredible team. They have an incredible squad. Yes, I believe that Spurs can challenge for the top 4 and finish in a Champions League place for next season. And that is what I fully expect. You know, dare I mention the T word, the trophy word, hoping and praying that Spurs actually win a trophy this year. That would be great under Antonio Conte. And lastly, a tribute to the late John Piero Ventrone. I tell you what, when I heard the news first thing Thursday morning, awful, absolutely awful. Antonio Conte and his coaching staff and everybody connected at Spurs must be absolutely gutted. Of course, Antonio Conte was extremely good friends with him, and I remember him, you know, giving that training session in South Korea. I sat in that stadium. My friend Jason, who was with me at the time, said, "What do we expect from this training session?" And I said, "Oh, it would just be you know, light training. It's exhibition stuff for the crowd." And Mr. Ventrone, you know, told the players to get up, and he had such a huge influence on the fitness side of things in the last 11 months at our club. He will be really, really missed. And you can see by the the players have come out and they've wrote such touching things. He really had an impact in these 11 months at Spurs. He will be really, really sadly missed. And as Spurs announced on Friday, they will have a tribute at the Amex Stadium on Saturday and a minute's applause. And then, of course, they will have another tribute at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Wednesday before the Frankfurt game. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like and share. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Please also remember to vote for us as Best Podcast in the Football Content Awards 2022 final. The deadline is the 9th of October. Thanks so much for all of your support, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.